You can see the other two below it. And then I zoom in on the main one that's visible the whole time. And use the contrast adjustments on my cell phone. That's all I use for any of these. It's not Photoshop. It's just the lighting and contrast. And later on I'm going to do a demonstration taking one of these screenshots and showing you how I take it just using, in light, there's exposure, contrast, whites, highlights, and you can adjust them all the way in and out. Zoom in, save it, and then go into your screenshots again and go into it. There's under lighting, there's about 4 or 5 adjustments. Under color, there's about 4 or 5 adjustments. And increase the pop, which kind of like contrasts it. I'm going to give a demonstration showing how these images go from one to another. So this is zooming in on it, and you'll notice there's a circle right here, like a bird's head with a little circle in it. And the holographic edges, oh, sorry, let me try and get rid of that and quit messing it up. This is nothing, guys. You're going to see stuff that's undeniably machinery in the sky. But what this is, I don't know. This is what I contrasted out when I zoomed in on that black dot that's clearly visible in the sky along with about 13 of his buddies. There's others that are very similar to this that I'm about to show you from Joe Imbriano's video that are black dots that appeared in the sky, and I contrasted them out and they turned into very similar looking patterns. And a lot of what we're going to see you can't explain. Feel free to explain what it is, but please don't say what it isn't, because people seem to want to say what it isn't, and if you can't say what it is, you can't say what it isn't. And all I'm doing in these is I take a screenshot and I adjust the contrasts and I zoom in and save that, and then go into my gallery again and grab the one that's adjusted and zoomed in, and I repeat the process over and over. And what you're going to see is undeniably intelligently designed. Like the one we saw over MB3's house, there was a repetitive pattern there, and you're going to see, cumulatively, it should free your mind. So there's the thing we saw in the Woodbury fire, Mr. MB3's Woodbury fire. And it looks similar to what we just saw. We're about to look at UAPs over military base with Joe Imbriano, and it looks just like what we saw in Plasma Power Thunderbirds in Pleasant Grove. So Joe Imbriano was driving around one day and he turned his camera to the sky and started saying, these clouds aren't normal, these clouds aren't natural, they're messing with us here. He don't normally take videos of the sky. And I noticed those same black dots in his video. As I did, see, there's the black dot that I saw in the sky in his video. There's Fullerton Informer on the bottom, and you can see the black dot in the sky. Hold on, I know I'm totally blowing it with the camera here. But the original source video of Joe's video that I used to take this of is in the description of this slideshow titled UAPs over military base, because Joe says this is over a military base and they're using microwave frequencies to mess with the weather here. And then I see one of those black dots, run the contrast adjustments, and look how detailed the edges are and how they repeat the shape. By the end, it is undeniable that what I'm able to discover by running these contrast adjustments is intelligently designed. And it looks just like what we would expect to see in an engine compartment of a large ship, or the mechanical room in your building where the boiler room and the furnace and the water lines come into. So I'm going to play this video just to show you how it all started, because what I say in this video
also took me by surprise too. So I'm just going to go through all these screenshots that I just barely came back from Staples with, where they adjusted nothing, but they took the brightness all the way down and the contrast all the way up. They said any photo, it was Photoshop shots that I just barely came back from Staples with, where they adjusted nothing, but they took the brightness all the way down and the contrast all the way up. They said any photo, it was Photoshop Virtues or Photoshop Essence or something, some sort of low-grade Photoshop, but he said any photo altering program will do this. He did not add or subtract any color.
So this is where it
As
starts,
I continue to zoom in, we're going to see a lot of different
with
stuff.
things that started making me go, what is that? Because there was a hole that came into the clouds that I zoomed into and took the contrasts of.
Here, an X-ray. It basically X-rays the whole city in the sky, whether it's a floating aircraft carrier or whatever it is. It seems like it X-rays it, and you can see all the different rooms. And we'll zoom in, and you'll see ships, you'll see stairs, you'll see pyramids.
Again, click the original video, you'll see the digital quality, and all the edges have edges on the edges with ridges, high definition ridges, and it's going to get very intricate here in a minute. So we'll skip straight to that now. So I'm going to show you the one that happened before this, where a hole appears in the clouds, and I decided to zoom into that hole in the clouds.
Before you zoom all the way in and start getting the details,
these are the clouds.
Something like this. I will be drawing your attention to the symmetries, like this one. The stairs here match the stairs there.
You ain't seen nothing yet. We'll just hold that for a minute.
Make of a video I made earlier today. The following images are from the video included in the description, where it is from 2 minutes 3 seconds till 2 minutes 8 seconds. During that 5 second window, a hole appears in the clouds, and I say so while I'm recording that, hey, I think I just saw another one of those holes appear. And this is what appears.
This is the cloud around the top edge.
Up of the right side, and I believe there are multiple craft, and I believe that's upside down.
This is just how it all started. This is the very first video when I was still having the guys at Staples do my contrasting.
That's the right side of the craft.
So there's the link in the description where there's another video I took with another hole at 30 seconds.
I'm not sure, but this divot seems to arrive a bit earlier than the first divot on the other one.
So this is another girl named Leslie, and I contrast the clouds in her video. And this one isn't blurred out. This one's very clear. There is some sort of mechanical, highly intelligently designed machinery in what you see. You see the cloud above that piece of equipment there? Hold on, let me get full screen. Cloud up here. In the video, source link in the description, she's saying that ain't a cloud, that's a ship. So I went ahead and contrasted it out. Said, all right, let's see if it's a ship. Watch the shape of the edge of the cloud here, and you can watch it and see it change. That's why I've chose this video to show you. You can watch the cloud through the different phases of contrast and zoom and still see the cloud as the engine room appears up here. And then I get close-ups in the next video of what looked like to be the most complex part of this. So hang tight. You'll see highly defined ridges. Normally when you zoom in on images, you lose clarity and it becomes pixelated. Look at this area down here. In these images, where they seem to be an X-ray, you can get the little tiny ridges and highly defined edges after you've zoomed into the picture as far as you can multiple times. And in the next video, you get even higher clarity in all these little hallways and stairways. And you can still see the cloud right there. That's just from adjusting the contrast in the sky right next to the cloud. And then we zoom back out and uncontrast and go back to the original image. And I'm going to give you a demonstration so you can use your own phone to run the contrast adjustments. And what this is doing, he's giving us the ability to see what they might call beyond the veil, into a dimension just outside of our visible light spectrum range. The airborne aircraft carrier engine room X-ray is the high definition close-ups of what we just showed you that was from the clouds, where you could see the cloud. This one I believe starts. No, we show you that's the same shaped cloud right there at the edge. That's the one that's above the machinery from the last video. But in this case, we go in higher detail, zoom in even further. Or maybe this is a different one. I think this might actually be from one of my videos where I zoomed in on a different cloud. I'll have to look in the description. Let's do that now. Maybe the future already came and went. This is one of my videos that I produced, and this is one of the clouds from my video where I was babbling at the clouds like I do. And you can see the cloud. And there's the source video in the description. And you can see this engine room forming up here. Ooh, get my finger out of the way. Hold on. Now we're getting some more detail. Look at these little ridges right here. These equal distant dashes right there and all the rest. It gets to a point where you have to acknowledge there's intelligent design. Collectively, all of the images I'm about to show you during this recap of my YouTube channel, collectively all of them taken together indicate there is something there that we're able to see. By running the contrast adjustments, it runs something like an X-ray image of whatever the machinery in the sky is, and it's from the plasma band radiation. That is my best guess at what this is we're able to see when we run these contrasts. But there's other ones that I've ran on, like the cathedral, the Notre Dame Cathedral, that just blow the mind. So collectively, all of this taken together, you're not going to be able to explain it. So just sit back and let it soak in the gravy. And we zoom back out, uncontrast, go through the process of the phases of contrast that I used to get in there, back out to the cloud. So from this video where I was still having the guy at Staples contrast it for me, Solar Portal opens at 30 seconds. That link is in the description. So we fast forward to 30 seconds in this video and you'll see a hole appear in this cloud. And I zoomed it up, and then I'll show you another example of the same thing happening in the next video, where I also zoomed in and contrasted out to see, because I saw this hole appear that you're about to see, like right here. And I was like, wow, I wonder if I can zoom in there and see what that was that appeared.
Notice the blue and purple bubble that come together as the lens flare gets closer to the sun?
Right there.
The double bubble,
right there.
Double bubble, blue and purple.
See that appear? Here, we'll watch it one more time.
The double bubble double bubble blue and purple.
Just appears right out of nowhere. Now remember how this looks, because I'm about to show you another example in another video where it does exactly the same thing.
As flare gets closer to the sun, it's the double bubble blue and purple.
See how that appeared right in the middle of that cloud? Like it's a hole or a second cloud? Saw that, right? Okay, if you didn't, rewind it and watch it 3 more times. So that one was titled that we just watched. Floating Fortress comes through at 30 seconds because that's where I contrasted this out from. This one, 2 minutes 3 seconds to 2 minutes 8 seconds. This one's called Oops, Christ Did It Again. There's number 1, 2, and 3, and I had gone to a format of using these paper copies because they were scrambling the screenshot slideshows and downgrading. The pixelation of it was so terrible you couldn't even see the borders and the definition of the images being seen. So I had gone to a paper copy version, but they've since upgraded all of the screenshot slideshows. And there's one of them that they haven't yet, and I'll show you that one, and you'll see the difference between that and all the others. But these images you're about to see, the source video is in the description from Casey Kidd, and they're taken from zooming into this, a video that he took using this, hanging out his car door window. That's a mirror here, and a magnifying glass here. And so it's a Santilli telescope, ultimately. A poor man's Santilli telescope. These are the triangular craft that you'll see parked 2 by 2 by 2 and 3s and 4s.
Christ did it again.
There's 2 of them. There's
source
3 of
video
them.
Where I took these screenshots from is courtesy of Casey Kidd, 913. Big shout out. What you're seeing here, I believe, in the video, you'll see this is the sun, and this is what I believe to be a high volt tether described by Ilana Freeland, also in a video that I will include in the description.
Notice all the
The
details.
high volt tether is something we put up there, also known as a microwave thruster. Another link in the description is to a video from Final Days. I'll refer to her as Final Days Lady because I don't know her name. She narrates the videos, and she describes this object that flies in front of the sun in alignment with the object that
The
is
bell-shaped
eclipsing the
craft.
sun as part of the sky concealment technology. Casey Kidd left a comment in one of my videos that said he can see structures, and you'll see the rudimentary device that he assembled himself to capture these videos. Amazing. What you're seeing all around here in the background will become clear by the end of the video that what we're looking at is a huge mothership.
Huge mothership.
Back to this original, this is the
Beam
sun,
me up.
and you can see this is emitting just as much of a light and radiation. And Ilana Freeland, she describes this.
The description of this video is a treasure trove of links to information from Ilana Freeland as I'm describing. And she tells you all about this. The description of most of my past videos likewise have many links. The breadcrumbs that led me to this.
Microwave thruster or high volt tether that we put up in space and left there, and Ilana Freeland says it's up there doing something. I believe that's what it is. By the end of this video, I think you'll be convinced that what we're looking at is a giant mothership.
Beam us up. So you can watch the original video. I'll just skip to some of the highlights because the quality of the video is much better if you just watch it directly.
You'll notice this has an extra little square here. It's about all.
Some intelligently designed stuff, I think. It gets better. Yeah, you'll definitely have to watch the video yourself because this ain't picking up the quality now at all. Yeah, look at all those lines.
Dittos everywhere.
Yeah, there's lots of high detail to all of these things, and then there's repeating patterns that develop that indicate it's definitely hallways of a large craft, cityscape structure in the sky.
Big dittos everywhere.
See those 3 parallel bars right there?
The highly intricate, detailed design and structure of what it is we're looking at. May have already shown this, but I don't think a little redundancy hurts considering the magnitude of what it is we're looking at and the implications. This looks very simple. Where's Aaron to tell us this is just pixels and lens flares? You'll notice this guy, but you're going to see a lot.
Notice the stairs right here?
Probably 100. Notice these 2 symmetrical parts of the structure.
Right here and here on the corners.
Up, I'll just breeze through these real quick. Looks like your standard flux capacitor.
Yep, flux capacitor for sure. Yeah. Hallways. Pixels don't form like that. Look at these equidistant ridges like ships parked in docking bays. Okay, this starts to get good. You ought to watch the originals yourself. And then we get into all these triangular craft.
You notice a lot of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 10 right there.
Triangle craft is what I'm pointing at. You'll see more of them. And they're much clearer on the originals.
Again, I'll get you some closer ups, but you can start.
This is all hallways. This is a very large craft. These are the hallways of the craft. Okay? Look too close, you might see a naked alien in their bedroom, and respect their privacy if you do. Like city structures. Landscapes. Oh, those are the triangle craft right there.
There's more than just those 2. There's actually a third one.
There's 3 right there.
Get closer up. You'll see.
This is all in the sky. And by the end of this, part 1, 2, and 3, oops, Christ did it again, part 1, 2, and 3. It's pretty convincing. There is something structural up there with intelligent design. This isn't just pixels and lens flares. Here you go. I'm going to pause it right here.
One there, one there, one there, one there.
That's what I was going to show you. This is all intelligent design, structural infrastructure. One of these triangles at the end of each one of these little runway looking things. Here's 3 of the triangles lined up right there, like parked in a row, and 1 over here. These triangular craft that I started this series with talking about is most likely what those are. You can even see the ridges on the tail fins on some of them when you get close enough. You with me? Free your mind, man. Free your mind.
3 here, 1 there.